Yeah, so for all that we've said about the challenges, there are also great opportunities, right? So opportunity number one is the ability to reach people who would never otherwise come across the doors of your church. So there are lots of skeptics who are, don't have any kind of Christian background, who the chances of you enticing them over the front door of the church is unlikely. But now, amazingly, we have the ability to engage them online. We can engage those crowds. We can put content out. We can reach people. We can bring good stuff across people's screens in a way we never could before. Related to that is the fact that actually the material that we create in our churches can spread further than before very easily. I had a good example of this recently. There's a friend of mine who's a pastor in Inverness in the far north of Scotland. A couple of years ago, he preached a sermon on a Sunday morning. As normal, didn't think anything of it, and it was live streamed because they were live streaming. And unbeknownst to him, somebody who was watching the live stream shared the video with a friend, who shared it with a friend, who shared it with another friend in Australia, who was a non-Christian. That video was almost, instrumental in that guy coming to faith in Christ. 18 months later, my friend in Scotland is startled to get an email in his inbox thanking him for that sermon from someone who is now a Christian in Australia, in Melbourne, because of that video. I love that story. It shows how digital technology can spread things, and I love the fact that my friend was completely oblivious to the fact he was preaching to people in front of him, and God was using it on the far side of the world. We would not have been able to do that without digital technology. So that's hugely significant. Second thing I think we can do with digital technology, we can engage people directly in a way we couldn't before. So in the old sort of way, we might create a sermon, we might create a book, a resource. It's out there, it's done, it's dusted. Now if you create a piece of digital content, people can comment, people can react. Now sometimes that reaction can be hostile. You put something out there and someone says something not rude about you and you can feel a bit sort of inadequate. But the point is they're engaging, so you can respond. You can thank them for their comment. You can start a conversation. You can have this two-way engagement, I think, that we couldn't have before. And so I think that's a huge opportunity that the digital world brings. And then lastly, I think the other thing that the digital world does that can be really interesting, it allows us to bring into the work of the church and spreading of the gospel, perhaps younger people who, if you restrict what we're doing to sort of speaking from the platform, they're not ready for that by a long way. But, it's often the younger people in our churches who really get the digital world. So a great opportunity for churches and church leaders to go, right, let's get the young people, let's get the students involved here. They understand this world better than we do. So rather than the pastor try and figure out TikTok, just no one is going to win in that process, draw the young people in. And now you've done a win-win. You're reaching this digital tribe and you've involved your young people in ministry.